Welcome back, my friends, to your recaps. The movie begins with a man named Adam leaving his farm. On his way, he meets a woman named Parker. It is revealed that Parker is the owner of the land Adam rented. It becomes clear that Parker is pleased because Adam took care of the land and restored it to a fertile state. Parker tells Adam that she considers him like a son and invites him to dinner. Adam responds by saying he also considers her like a mother and promises to join her for dinner. Later, Parker returns to her house and turns on her computer. Suddenly, a message appears on the screen, notifying her that her device has been infected with a virus and advising her to contact the security company immediately. Parker calls the antivirus company she subscribes to and speaks with a man named Grant. She explains the issue with her computer, puzzled by how it got infected despite her subscription to the antivirus service. Grant reassures her, explaining that the company's system experienced some technical issues. He asks her to follow specific steps to prevent her data from being erased. Parker complies and follows his instructions, successfully restoring her computer to normal. Afterward, Grant informs her that the company will compensate her with $500 for the inconvenience. He requests her bank account number to transfer the money. Parker provides the account number, which happens to be the account of the charity organization she manages. Grant mistakenly transfers $50,000 to Parker's account. He later calls her, explaining that the transfer was a mistake and pleading with her to return the excess amount, claiming that he might lose his job if she doesn't. Feeling sympathetic, Parker agrees to return the money without hesitation. She logs into the charity account she manages, enters the password, and sees that the account contains $2 million in donation. Parker transfers the remaining amount back to the account from which Grant sent the money. Suddenly, she discovers that all the funds in the charity's account have been transferred to Grant's account. Shocked, Parker attempts to contact Grant to understand what happened, but he doesn't respond. It is then that Parker realizes she has been scammed. Meanwhile, Grant celebrates with his team over the success of their scheme. It becomes clear that Grant is an internet scammer specializing in fraud. That evening, Adam arrives at Parker's house for the dinner they had planned. Upon entering, he is shocked to find the house in disarray, with a gun on the floor and Parker dead in her chair. Suddenly, Verona, Parker's daughter, appears behind Adam, pointing a gun at him and ordering him to get on the ground. It is revealed that Verona is a federal investigator working for the FBI. Though visibly upset by her mother's death, she considers Adam a suspect and arrests him, handing him over to the police. Shortly afterward, Adam is released due to a lack of evidence linking him to Parker's death. Furthermore, the coroner's report confirms that Parker had taken her own life. Later, Verona stays at home alone and starts examining her mother's computer. She discovers the reason her mother took her own life. The next day, Verona meets Adam and apologizes for her actions toward him. She also thanks him for taking care of her mother during the past period. She explains that her mother committed suicide after falling victim to a scam that resulted in the theft of all the charity's donation funds. Adam asks her about the identity of the scammer, and Verona responds that he is an unknown individual operating under the guise of an antivirus company. She adds that she cannot file a complaint against the company because the evidence shows that her mother willingly transferred the money, leaving no grounds for legal charges. Verona asks Adam for his help in capturing the company's members, but he refuses, stating that the matter is personal and expressing his sorrow over her mother's death before leaving. Later, Adam contacts a former colleague from a secret organization called The Hive. It is revealed that Adam was once a member of this organization, which collaborates with the US government to conduct covert operations through unlawful means. Adam's colleague is surprised by his call, as he had retired a long time ago. He explains that this matter is personal for him and asks her to gather information about the antivirus company. Shortly afterward, Adam's colleague contacts him again and provides the address of the company. Adam heads to the company's headquarters with several cans of gasoline. Upon arrival, he encounters two security guards who try to stop him, but he quickly takes them down. Adam enters the building and heads to the employee's office. He orders all the employees to evacuate immediately, threatening to burn the place down if they stay. He begins pouring gasoline throughout the premises, causing the employees to panic and flee the building in fear. Grant arrives with a group of security guards and orders them to attack Adam. However, Adam moves swiftly and skillfully, taking them down one by one with ease. Grant is stunned by what he sees and asks Adam why he is doing this. Adam sarcastically replies that he's a beekeeper and enjoys driving wasps out of the hive. Adam then pulls out explosives and plants them around the building. He picks up the company's phone and tells Grant that the calls they profited from will now be the reason for their destruction. He explains that the first client to call the company will trigger the explosives, causing the entire building to explode. Adam advises Grant to flee the premises quickly before it's too late, and then walks away. Grant runs as fast as he can to escape the building. Moments later, a client calls the company, triggering the explosives and causing a massive explosion that destroys the entire building. Later, Grant contacts the company's owner, Derek, to inform him of what happened. He explains that he knows nothing about the person who blew up the building, except that he calls himself a beekeeper. He also mentions that the surveillance cameras were completely destroyed, leaving no evidence against the perpetrator. Derek becomes furious, especially since the destroyed building was worth $30 million. He tells Grant that the person who did this was seeking revenge and orders him to investigate everyone they scammed recently. Shortly afterward, Derek sends a group of mercenaries to assist Grant. Grant takes the mercenaries and heads to Parker's house, believing she is the most likely person seeking revenge, as she had lost a significant amount of money in their scam. By coincidence, Grant and his mercenaries spot Adam driving his car toward an abandoned warehouse. They quickly follow him, determined to eliminate him. Upon entering the warehouse, Grant and his team discover it is completely empty. It becomes clear that Adam anticipated their pursuit and had set a trap for them inside. Suddenly, Adam appears from different corners of the warehouse and begins taking down the mercenaries one by one. In the end, only Grant remains. Adam approaches Grant and cuts off his fingers as an act of revenge before leaving him and walking away. Shortly after, Verona arrives at the warehouse with the police, discovering it completely burned down. While investigating, she finds the body of one of the mercenaries and Grant's ID card, revealing that he is the director of the antivirus company. Verona concludes that Adam had been in the warehouse and that Grant and his mercenaries were there to kill him. She also deduces that Adam is the one who destroyed the antivirus company's building in retaliation for her mother's death. Elsewhere, Grant is in his car, calling Derek to inform him that Adam has killed all the mercenaries and severed his fingers. Suddenly, Adam appears, ties Grant to the car with a seatbelt, and drives toward the sea, dragging Grant behind. Adam pushes the car into the water, causing Grant to drown. Adam then takes Grant's phone and calls Derek, who had been listening to the events unfold. Adam tells Derek that he will kill him next, and then ends the call. Adam drives off in Grant's car. Later, Derek meets with Wells, the company's head of security, to inform him of everything that happened. Wells is shocked when he hears the phrase "the Hive" and reveals that he was the former head of the CIA. He explains to Derek the immense danger posed by members of the secret Hive organization, emphasizing that the person they are dealing with is a highly dangerous individual. Wiltz contacts Jessica Derrick, who turns out to be the President of the United States, to explain the details of the problem her son is facing. Jessica orders Wills to provide protection for her son at any cost. As a result, Wills reaches out to Agent Janet, the leader of the Hive organization, and informs her that one of their former members, Adam, poses a threat to the president's son. Janet explains that Adam retired long ago and is no longer part of the organization, but Wiltz insists on eliminating him immediately. Meanwhile, Verona and her colleague Haley are at the FBI, searching for any information about Adam in the database. They are shocked to find no records of him, leading Verona to deduce that Adam is a former military operative working with a secret organization. Later, the FBI learns that Grant's body has been found in the sea. Verona and her colleague rush to the scene, stunned to see Grant's mutilated body with his fingers severed. At night, Adam is at a gas station when a car crashes into his vehicle. A woman named Lindris, a member of the Hive organization, steps out of the car. A fierce fight breaks out between them. During the fight, a police car arrives, but Lindris fires at it, killing all the officers inside. Adam retaliates, landing powerful blows on Lindris, forcing her to retreat to a mounted gun on her car. She fires chaotically across the area, but Adam counters by hurling a jar of honey at her and setting her on fire. Calmly, Adam approaches Lindris, cuts off one of her fingers, and places it in a bag. Adam then takes a car from one of the bystanders at the gas station and drives away just as the station explodes. Moments later, Janet calls Wiltz and informs him that she failed to eliminate Adam. She describes what happened and admits that all the mercenaries in the Hive organization fear Adam, as they know he is highly skilled and far superior to any of them. Janet apologizes to Wells and informs him that she can no longer assist him. The next day, Wells meets with a group of mercenaries, who turn out to be former US Navy soldiers. Wells explains the details of the mission to their leader, Bates, emphasizing that their target, Adam, has exceptional combat skills and was the best agent in the Hive Cell organization. Meanwhile, Adam arrives at the warehouse belonging to the mercenary killer, Lindris, whom he killed the previous night. Using her fingerprint, he unlocks the secure access to the location. Once inside, Adam begins searching her computer for information about the antivirus company. After a thorough search, he finds the address of the company's headquarters. Adam collects a large cache of weapons and explosives and leaves the warehouse. Elsewhere, Verona and her colleague Wally meet with the director of the FBI. Verona explains the details of recent events, including what happened to the antivirus company, and reveals that Adam is responsible for all the incidents. She also explains that Adam was a former agent of a secret organization called Hive Cell, and that he is seeking revenge against Derek, the owner of the antivirus company. Verona requests that the FBI provide security for the company's headquarters, as she expects Adam to attack the site soon. The director agrees to her request and asks her to keep him updated with any developments. Shortly afterward, a group of FBI forces is stationed outside Derek's company building. Adam arrives at the scene and warns them to leave to avoid any harm. The commander of the forces is surprised by Adam's boldness and orders his men to arrest him immediately. However, Adam moves swiftly and skillfully, bypassing the forces and successfully entering the company building. Adam heads to the company's manager's office, where Bates and a group of mercenaries appear and start shooting at him. However, Adam quickly escapes, running through the company's hallways. The mercenaries chase after him, continuing their search. Adam uses his combat skills to eliminate the mercenaries one by one until he reaches Bates, the mercenary leader. They engage in a fierce fight, and Adam manages to defeat him. Afterward, Adam goes to the company's manager and pressures him to reveal the name of the company's owner. The manager shows him a picture of Derek and says that he does not know his whereabouts. At that moment, Verona arrives with a group of soldiers, but Adam quickly escapes before anyone sees him. Verona searches for information about Derek on the computer, then returns to the FBI office and contacts the director. She explains to him that the antivirus company is one of Jessica's companies, the President of the United States, and that Derek, Jessica's son, is using this company as a trap to lure victims and scam them. Elsewhere, Wells receives a call and learns about the ongoing events. He decides to contact his mother to go into hiding at her house, as his life is now in danger since Adam discovered he is the owner of the company. The next day, Derek is at his mother's house, which is heavily secured with tight protection around all the entrances and exits. He is accompanied by Ross, the leader of a group of South American mercenaries. whom Wells assigned to protect Derek from any danger. Jessica, Derek's mother, is hosting a large party. At that moment, Adam appears and sneaks in through a sewer vent, disguised as one of the special forces. He easily enters the house, moves swiftly and skillfully, planting bombs in the special forces' vehicles without being noticed. He then hides in a specific location and changes his clothes. Adam enters the party quietly, disguised as one of the guests. In one of the rooms of the house, the FBI director is with Derek and his mother, Jessica. The FBI director is explaining to Jessica about the frauds her son has carried out through the antivirus company. Furious, Jessica confronts her son because she knows that this will ruin her reputation and the family's reputation. Derek responds, saying that he did it to fund her election campaign, and that if he hadn't done it, she would never have become the President of the United States in the first place. At that moment, Verona, part of the security team, is present, and she accidentally spots Adam. She and the rest of the team decide to capture him. A fierce chase ensues between the Special Forces and Adam, joined by a group of mercenaries. Due to the large number of soldiers, Special Forces and mercenaries, they manage to corner Adam in the house's garden. Here, Wells appears and orders Ross, the mercenary leader, to kill Adam. However, Adam surprises everyone by blowing up the cars in the area. He takes advantage of the confusion and chaos, managing to quickly escape into the house. He heads towards Jessica's room, turning into a deadly whirlwind, destroying anything in his way, whether from the Special Forces or mercenaries. He eventually faces Ross, and a fierce battle ensues between them. It turns out that Ross is a fierce fighter as well, and he manages to wound Adam with a knife. However, Adam's strength shows as he withstands the blow, then attacks Ross. He takes the knife from him and starts stabbing him in various places until he finishes him off completely. At the same time, Jessica decided to hold a press conference to reveal the truth to the public, which meant that Derek would face trial for fraud and embezzlement. Enraged by this decision, Derek pulled out his gun and shot the FBI director, killing him. Suddenly, Adam burst into the room and was about to kill Derek, but Derek grabbed his mother and put the gun to her head, using her as a hostage. At that moment, Verona arrived and asked Adam to surrender, but Adam ignored her and shot Derek in the head, killing him. Adam then jumped out of the window and escaped the scene. Verona ran after him, but she decided to let him go, as she knew that Adam was seeking revenge on the criminals who had caused his mother's death. The film ends. Please, if you like my content, support me with a like and subscribe to the channel. Have a nice day, my friend.